Hello and welcome to this fabulous Friday edition of the Danielle Daily Show. Today we are going to talk about the most important words that you could ever say to yourself. Quite possibly the three, in fact, most important words that you could ever say to yourself. And I know this is not easy. This is not an easy topic to speak on because I know that so many people grapple with this and nobody really wants to talk about it. Nobody really wants to admit to being part of this club who has never actually said these words to themselves. So I have so much appreciation and respect for each of you who decides to join me to talk about this topic today. If you have joined me, I would love it if you would type into the comments and just say hello, let me know you're here. Now that I'm running this through the Danielle Daily Show Facebook page instead of through my personal Facebook page, I don't automatically get to see that you're here, that you've joined me. So I would love to know that you're here so I could say hello. So again, today we are talking about quite possibly the three most important words you could ever say to yourself. And I would love your input on why, if you're brave enough, why you personally find it difficult to say these words to yourself once we get into the discussion about what those words are. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. I know that I am very much looking forward to getting the weekend started. It's been an awesome week. I went to yoga class so many times this week. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really strong, feeling very confident. And it's funny, the more that I exercise, the easier it becomes to do so, which I love because I don't know about you, but I don't like to do anything that's really all that hard if I don't have to. There's plenty of things in life that are hard, and I don't really want exercise to be one of them. So I've noticed that if I do it on a regular basis, it actually becomes fairly easy for me to do. So what are the words that I'm cheesing you with that could quite possibly be the most important words that you could ever say to yourself? Well, they're words that you probably say to other people all the time. Not everybody throws these words around all the time, but I'm guessing most of the people who watch the Danielle Daily Show are pretty affectionate sort of people, and we're not afraid to tell people, at least the ones who we feel close to, that we love them. So the three words that might be the most important words that you ever say to yourself are, I love you. And I know so many people struggle with this. Even the idea of saying I love you to yourself, especially out loud, can bring up feelings of panic and anxiety. I've seen it bring very tough, grown people to tears. So I talked about this a little bit in a previous episode, but I'm going to revisit it here in case you missed it. So one of the ways you can figure out whether you're comfortable loving yourself and saying out loud, I love you to yourself is an old exercise that was, I believe, first popularized by Louise Hay, and it's called the mirror exercise. And all you have to do is find a mirror somewhere in your house or, in your compact if you wear makeup, and just look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. And just notice your response. Notice if you're able to do that and feel it and really feel like you're being genuine and authentic as you're saying it. And if not, notice what kinds of critical thoughts come up in your mind. What is it that you think is so unlovable about yourself? And I think by looking in the mirror this way, we're really faced with confronting what it is that we find unlovable about ourselves. I think this is such a wonderful way to just kind of dig past all the crud and get straight to the heart of the matter. If you're not able to look in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself, I think that is something that is worth putting time into working on. It's worth putting time into being able to do that for yourself, because becoming somebody who can openly admit that they love themselves is somebody who has so much love to freely give other people. When you're no longer looking for other people to approve of you, to validate you, to consider you lovable, You are so powerful and you radiate love outward. And I know there are so many of us who want to see that in the world. We want to see people loving one another. And it's my belief that starting that begins, right here. If we can love ourselves, just imagine if every single person in the world found themselves lovable and acceptable and wasn't walking around waiting for somebody else to validate them or to find them lovable. Imagine what a very different experience that would be. So try Louise's exercise. Try getting in front of a mirror, looking yourself in the eye and saying, I love you. And just notice your own response. Do you feel good about that? Do you feel comfortable with that? Or are you noticing that, oh my gosh, I'm crying, or oh my gosh, I feel so uncomfortable, or oh my gosh, I hope nobody sees me. I just saw a thumbs up go across the screen. I don't know who that was. I would love it if you would just type hi into the comments. That would be awesome, because I actually don't know who is joining me now that I'm not running this through my personal page. So I would love to know who just sent me that thumbs up. That was very sweet. So like I said, I think that these 3 words, I love you, could quite possibly be the most important words that you could ever say to yourself. And I think that that is so important, because by being able to admit that we love ourselves and to actually feel that way about ourselves, it allows us to freely love others. Imagine being able to freely love others with no strings attached, not needing anything in return, because we already feel loved and we already feel lovable. Just being able to freely love somebody without needing them to return any of that love, and in fact being completely okay with them not loving us at all or them ignoring us at all. Imagine that feeling of freedom. So I have today's note to self for you. It looks like Elena joined us. I think I saw her face across there. I would love it if you guys would type in hi if you're watching, so that I can see your face in the scroll. Because now that I'm doing this through the Danielle Daily page, I don't get to see everybody automatically. So I love to know that you're here. Eric Huff says, what about I'm good at everything? That's close to saying I love myself. It's close, but no cigar, sir. You still have more work to do. So being good at everything is wonderful, believing that you're good at everything, but I know you're joking, and I would love to hear you be able to say, I love myself. Dear self, I love you. To be able to look in the mirror. I would love for every single person on the planet to be able to look into the mirror and to say, I love you, and to mean it. And for everybody in the room to feel that radiant feeling of love. I think that would just make for an amazing transformation on the planet. And it starts by focusing our attention right here where we have control in our own life, in our own mind, in our own heart. All right, so like I said, I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter so that they're easier for you guys to consume. So I'm going to give you today's note to self. Please let me know if you have any comments. I love it when you guys share these. I so appreciate it when you let people know that you found this to be something positive in your day, that it brought you some inspiration, that it brought you some positivity, that it brought you some smiles. It makes my day when I see that you guys are doing that. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you also following me over here to the Danielle Daily page. I know that's a little bit of a rough transition going from my personal page where we're all friends to this more public venue where people who maybe I'm not as familiar with will be joining us, but I think it's really exciting, and I think it's a great opportunity for this message to get out there to more people who need it. All right, so are you ready to write down today's note to self? This is a good one. This is a powerful one. This is one that you're going to want to make sure that you have around the house. All right, so it says, Dear self, I love you and all of your exquisite flaws. And I love that word exquisite. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it looks. Let me read you the note to self one more time, and I'll tell you sort of my thinking behind this note to self. So it says, Dear self, I love you and all of your exquisite flaws. So to me, the word exquisite brings up the idea of a diamond. And I don't know how much you know about diamonds or the 3 or 4 C's or whatever it is, but natural diamonds, almost all of them have some sort of flaw in them. And that is what makes them so exquisitely beautiful and unique. So think of your flaws as something beautiful that makes you unique and identifiable. Actually, the flaws within a diamond, whether it's the color or the inclusions or the clouds in them, are what allow a diamond to be individually identified. So if you've ever gone through the process of having your diamond insured, they map out where all the little flaws are so that if something were happening to it, they would be able to identify it. And I think that's so cool to think of ourselves as diamonds and to think of ourselves as having exquisite flaws that make us unique and identifiable and wonderful. And you know, really the only perfect diamonds in the world are fake, right? They're cubic zirconia. Nobody wants that. We all want a real diamond. So think of yourself as a diamond. Think of yourself as exquisitely flawed and wonderful and worthy of love. I hope you will try the age-old Louise Hay exercise of looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, I love you. I hope that whatever thoughts come up that you think make you unlovable, that you will take note of them. And if that's something that you need help with, if you would like to become free of those self-critical thoughts, I hope you will reach out to me. That is something I can help you with. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. And just imagine the feeling of freedom of knowing that you love yourself and not letting those self-critical thoughts control you anymore. All right, so one more time with the note to self, and then I will sign off and we can all get on to our weekend. Today's note to self reads, Dear self, I love you and all your exquisite flaws. And then when I write them for myself, I write, love me. So sign yours however you like. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope that I will be able to catch you here again on Monday. I know I will be here. I am Danielle Watson, and this has been today's edition of the Danielle Daily. See you next week. Mwah! Bye.